Hey everybody, welcome to a new episode of Orange Reel. It's been a while since I did a film review, and the reason for that is because I've been working on a new project, and if you follow my channel, you may have already seen it, but if not, don't worry, I'll talk about that at the end of the video. But for now, let's talk about F9. It's really amazing how far this franchise has come. I mean, after all, it's basically just Point Break, but with cars. But regardless, it's become quite the moneymaker in Hollywood, and they just keep cranking them out, and doing crazier and crazier things. Which leads to my first criticism of the movie. They've gone too crazy. One of the things the franchise has become known for, especially in the past several films, is that each time they do bigger and bigger stunts, to the point where, honestly, they're just not that impressive anymore. We've seen some really amazing stunts in this film, like the time that we had two cars drag a giant vault around a city. That was actually pretty cool. But now they just keep going crazier and crazier, where in the previous film, they are out driving a submarine and The Rock kicks a torpedo away. I think it was that point where I realized, like, yeah, the franchise has gone a little too far. And this one just goes even further. We have your usual bunch of crazy stunts that do have some degree of creativity in them, but honestly, they're just not impressive anymore because, like I said, we've seen so many crazy stunts that's just like we've just become used to it at this point in the franchise. They're really not impressive. It's just another crazy stunt at this point. But it would help, of course, if, well, our characters could get hurt, but they really can't get hurt at this point. I saw multiple crashes in this movie that should have either flat out killed the characters or at least left them severely injured. We have had some injuries in the movies over the past several years, more severe ones usually in the earlier films, but usually after a while they just shrug off the injury. In this film, I think the most injuries we take from the characters is that they get that little cut on their head that, is pretty simple and plain when it comes to special effects makeup. The cut, and it's just a problem because if there is no fear of our characters getting injured or dying, then why should I care? I have no investments. There's no tension in the action. And for an action franchise, this movie is sorely lacking it. And it's just too big of a problem to ignore. But anyway, let's talk about the story of this movie, which gets overly complicated for something that should be very simple. Basically, Dominic Toretto, Vin Diesel's character, is now confronting his younger brother, Jacob Toretto, who apparently they had a falling out many years ago, and now Jacob has become some A-plus level international action spy type guy, which is apparently good for Jacob, considering Dominic has to also become this international A-plus spy guy, which is kind of weird. Yeah. They try to make it out to be that they had kind of a Thor and Loki relationship where Jacob was always in Dom's shadow, but they never really show us that. We're just told that by a couple of characters, which is funny because we have multiple flashbacks in this film of when they were younger, and you would think one of those flashbacks is Dom getting more attention than Jacob, but we really don't see that. And what makes this even weirder is family. Every movie, they emphasize extremely how important family is. It's basically one of the big themes of the film, that family is important. And they say it like 24 times in each movie at this point. I mean, I'm exaggerating there, of course, but it feels like it. Whether they're saying it or not, just the family, family, family. I mean, holy crap. I mean, I've met some tight families in my time. My family's very tight. Hell, I'm Italian. Italians emphasize all the time the importance of family, but even Italians do not emphasize it this hard. And it just seems weird that he's emphasized the importance of family time and time again, and now we find out he's literally hasn't spoke to his actual blood brother in decades. Now, maybe this is the film's way of challenging Dom's beliefs that maybe he isn't as family-oriented as he likes to be, but it's the Fast and Furious franchise. There's really no actual breakdown of this, and it just gets, it's kind of hollow. Plus, no offense to John Cena, but he really doesn't make for a compelling villain type. We have returning villains in this movie, like Charlize Theron's Cypher, but she's barely in it. And there's one other villain who, I forget his name. I want to say it's Otto. I don't know. But anyway, the point is, the Fast and Furious franchise, whether it's the action or the characters, it just doesn't give the audience a reason to care anymore. I know this movie's making a lot of money, and I mean, I don't know exactly why. If I had to chalk it up to something, I would say it's because, well, we're finally getting back to somewhat of a normal vibe here post-pandemic, even though the pandemic's still kind of going because not everyone's been vaccinated yet, so whatever. But I think it's a combination of that we're finally allowing people to go back to the movie theaters on a regular basis. And, well, I mean, it's just a popular franchise. But honestly, the franchise, I think, is dead or dying. I mean, the last movie really wasn't that great either, in my opinion. I don't know how about you felt about it, but I just didn't give a damn about the last one. I watched the whole thing. And this one, I gave even less of a damn. I often found myself daydreaming in the middle of the film, thinking about other things that I cared about more. And unfortunately, I want to care again because I've never been disillusioned at, what should I say? I've never saw these movies as more than what they are. They're just fun, action, adventure, crime films. That's all they are. They've never tried to be more than they are. But now that they're trying to be these epic superhero films, they've kind of reached their limit because, well, they forgot what's most important: character and story. You can have the most incredible action scenes ever, but if I don't care about the characters and why the story's happening, then I just don't care. Even as simple as a film franchise as this is. I'm going to give Fast and Furious 9, or F9, the Fast Saga, a 3 out of 10. Alright everybody, that is my review for F9. Let me know what you think of it down in the comments. And as I said at the beginning of the video, the project I have been working on that I'd like to tell you about is The Patronarchy. It's a new series that I started here on my channel where I have friends on and they talk about the various bad, horrible, annoying, weird customers they've had to deal with at the jobs they've worked at. I've been really enjoying this series. It's kind of got like a interview podcast format going on. It's been a lot of fun just to be able to sit down, hang out, talk about, these work experiences, which are all very relatable, and it's very cathartic just to get all this stuff out. And I'm sure a lot of you watching are kind of, middle-class, blue-collar people like me for the most part. But even if you're not, check it out. I think I've really got a nice little show going here, and I'm having a ton of fun, and I think you will too. So do check that out. I'll leave a link to the first episode at the end of this video. But if you did enjoy this video, let me know what you think of F9 down in the comments. And if you enjoyed it even more, hey, click that like button. And subscribe to catch more videos in the future. But until next time, take it easy.